I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about open and closed emitters. It's a question I actually get quite a bit, surprisingly a lot. Maybe it's just the group of people I normally hang out with. It's just not something I talk about a lot. So I thought I'll just share my experiences a little bit and talk through the differences. This is an open emitter red dot. This is a Vortex Defender XL. So the reason it's an open emitter is because the emitter, I'm terrible at getting good angles, but is right. Nope, going to be like epic fail. How about through the front? The emitter's back here. You can see that. So it's casting the dot up on the glass. I could put my finger in front of that, which would make the sight go away. So like doing this would disable the red dot, or I couldn't use it. If I got snow or ice or zombie like guts in there or something, that would like shut this thing down. The other option is an open emitter, or I'm sorry, a closed emitter like this. This is a Holosun 509T. So it's all enclosed, the mailbox style. There's glass in the back, glass in the front. No way to get to the emitter. It's all enclosed. Normally, I don't even weigh in on such stuff because I don't have experience, or I don't. Like, it doesn't matter to me that much. Recently, I had a day of training where I was in the rain all day, and I had 3 polymer framed Walthers with me. I had a gun with a 507 comp, a Vortex Defender XL, and it just so happened I had this bad boy in a holster in my car also. And so I debated like about grabbing that to use it for the day, but I thought, nah, I'm just going to shoot with the open emitter and just see what I observed. So I switched in the morning. I used the 507 comp. In the afternoon, the gun with the Vortex Defender XL. And just because I wanted to see like what issues I would end up with, because I mean it wasn't, at times it was raining pretty good, and then there's times where it was just sprinkling. Another fun little thing, so I was drawing from a retention style safari holster, so the sides were covered, but I did not have anything covering the top to cover the dot. So I was wearing a rain jacket, and sometimes that would cover over, protect the gun or to keep the grip or the optic from getting wet, but still rain's getting on it, or when it's just in the holster before I'm getting ready to demo, the gun's getting exposed to water. So there's definitely rain hitting the optic while the gun's, basically in this position in a holster. So the I intentionally, the gun stayed hot the whole time. So I'd pull the gun out sometimes once just to take a sight picture before I do the demo. The other ones I was just thought I'd live on the edge, so I would just look. I'd already know the gun's hot. Look down just to make sure the dot's turned on, which of course it was, and then I would just do the drill or the demo without like shaking on the optic or the gun first or trying to wipe it off. Just left it the way it is. I could look down like, it's not a pool. And just looking down, kind of moving my head around so I could see on top of the holster. It's like, yeah, there's some rain obviously on it, but I can still see the dot in the glass. The gun's wet, the optic's wet. Like, let's just see what happens. And just drawing the gun and getting it to my eye line, it's like, yeah, I mean, there's some rain on it, but as you hold the gun up, some of it moves downwards due to gravity. Some raindrops stay on the glass just throughout shooting. Some of it's going to fly off, or there's a little bit less after some rapid fire shooting where, let's say I shoot 30 rounds for the demo, combined through a couple different strings or, whatever's going on. But it never got to the point where I needed to like stop and wipe off the optic, or that I felt like it was a problem, which kind of surprised me because again, just for me not doing anything cool and just seeing like, you need for carry sites or hard use, you need the closed emitter because, that'll keep you from getting water on your emitter, whatever, where it's like, hey, the emitter is upwards, so there's not going to get any water in it like this. I suppose if you submerged it in water, it would get water on the emitter, but then once you hold it upwards, it's going to come off anyway. So, I don't know. And then also, there's holes in this side of the optic, so if this whole area filled in with water where the emitter is, there's a hole in the side that would let water drain out of it. But anyway, so just throughout the day of shooting in the rain, it was not a big deal. On lunch, I did get out this little devil just to shoot it a little bit, and I didn't notice any difference either. I was like, yeah, I mean, if there's water gets on the back glass, it's going to have water on it one way or the other. it starburst a little bit more on just like on any of the optics. If rain was just in the right spot, where maybe it'd be like the dot looks a little bit star shaped or tear shaped, or maybe it looks a little bit, but for just out to 25 yards, it's just reacting to the color of the sight anyway. So I'll just be looking at the target. Once the sight gets up to my eye line, start shooting. It was totally fine for that. So I don't love shooting in the rain. It is the thing that happens sometimes. But for a day of, I mean, most of the day, it didn't pour crazy hard, but there's at least some light to medium rain for all the day. I never really had an issue where I thought like, oh, I wish I had, I need to go switch to my closed emitter, or oh, I'm glad I have an open emitter. To me, it didn't matter at all. I'm curious to know what purpose people think that the closed emitter is necessary when the open emitter fails. I'm at this point very convinced it's not going to be for rain. I could see for snow, I suppose, if you got snow, and again, this is like, it's out of my wheelhouse, but if you got snow inside of it, then I could see where the closed emitter would be better because you could shake it off or wipe it off from the outside. But other than snow, I don't know, maybe mud. I don't. For any normal use, like in the holster, I can't see a difference. So it was fun just using them both. And although I don't like shooting in the rain, it was interesting just to see how much or how little it affected things. And for my experience, for just rain with open emitter, either the Hollow Sun or the Vortex, it wasn't a big deal. I was more worried about keeping my hands and the grip of the gun as dry as I could, which if it's raining, you just can't. But that would be more of a priority for me than worrying about trying to cover the glass or waiting until the very last minute to pull like a covering off the glass or tape to try to keep it dry. Because like once you decide you're going to demo or whatever, like if I'm not wearing a jacket, the gun's just in a holster, it's got to be uncovered. It's going to get rained on at some point. So anyway, that was just my experience. I thought it was worth sharing on open and closed emitters. I don't do anything duty related or enough to weigh in on that. This was just a day of shooting in the rain and what I observed. For me, it didn't matter. But if it was like snow or mud or something more significant, I could see where it would matter. Mud, I don't see that really being a factor, but the snow, I mean, depending on where you live, I guess that could happen too. But anyway, hopefully that's of some value. If you have any comments or thoughts, drop it in the comments. Curious to know what you think and if anyone out there really thinks closed emitters are super necessary. Either way, thanks for watching.